One of us want to go see what happened? I don't know how much longer...
What happened?
Keep your wits about you, friend.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it? You want my flock wasting their lives? Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life, and you tell Reed Thompson that I will never... You offering to cross Reed off, huh? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer. Edgewater Cemetery's got corpses aplenty. My son worked in that cannery. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery.
Everybody keeps staring at me. Whoa, Miss Parvati. You're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no. I'm just along with this lady here.
I seen you wandering around here. You don't look like you're coming from town. Well, what I meant was your reason... Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of... Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. No kidding! Really? Well, which one? Look at that! Building... I appreciate... In fact, I put aside something Well, don't keep me in suspense. The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible! 2 whole data pads? Beast. Sure. I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. You know something? I think you're right. I could do a lot of good in Edgewater. Maybe even keep a garage of my own with a little workbench and my very own toolbox. It's just... Adelaine's never gonna forgive me. Not in 100 years. You know where to find...
Spacer's choice takes care of its own.
I don't want any trouble. Esther's got... Nope. I didn't know that. All...
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
Sure.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick. Foreman Granger. Mind those words don't...
think you did the rightest thing you could sending the power back to Edgewater. A lot of people would have suffered otherwise. He's just interested in fixing stuff. Thomas always listened to me. Never said I was odd. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So, then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes, but I have done my best for this town. I am not without compassion for Abernathy's predicament, but the plague has taken a... I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. I don't believe you. Plague's a reality. You are disparaging our parent company. We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat Saltuna. The Saltuna's been a mite bland ever since Adelaide left. And we don't get... We've added wood chips, some mushrooms, bit of sand, tossed some canid bits in our processor once. It all tastes like Saltuna in the end. Couple years, give or take, right around the time the first wave of... Now listen, I do not know what pretty rhetoric Adelaide has... You will excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly... If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague, my life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. A couple months ago, I might have put in for a transfer. It's a big colony. No such thing as an honorable resignation. Suppose I could find a place outside the walls, or put in for early retirement. I don't know.
Where are we headed?
Any luck No kidding! Ain't that just... That's a complete set! All... aside,
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. What's on... Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, I owe them my life. Would have died in the... We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my...
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean,
Look at that. I never thought I'd see the day that Reed Thompson abandoned his... Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. You're vexing to me, you know? Injuring us with one hand, helping us with the other. Here, I'm giving you something to leave us be. It's a ransom, you understand, not a reward. You're telling me you did all this just to put me in? I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery. I need some time to gather my personals. Long... I know, I'm trying to think.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just... Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but... I've worked on the occasional supply coach in need of repairs. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But... And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back... Yes! I mean, thanks. Captain, I can call...
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room. By Verity, what are we...
Captain, I have detected that Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of a... Our engine room is located behind... What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating with... I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove... Welcome back, Captain. All systems... We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are, hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain, horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys called Kelly. Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place, and we can start by reviving the hope. Gladys and I have been doing business for years. Her smuggling credentials are unimpeachable. If anyone can get you a key to Monarch, it's her. In theory, I suppose you could land your ship in Cascadia, and Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, high... You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia, and I'm reasonably certain I tested your brain. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design. Cutting. I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits. First-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Ha 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 ha! The beauty is they don't expect it. The shroud is the only one of its kind. We humans have a tendency to overlook the unexpected. Activate the disguise, walk past someone. What do they see? A figure dressed like a fellow employee. Don't act odd. They won't focus on you. Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path, you maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get... And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with... The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't...
Transmission ended. If you are ready... Take someone to watch your back, please.
Yeah, so... I was looking for a place that was quiet. Cozy like. That's in pretty good shape, considering how hard Mr. Hawthorne ran it. The Block 2 design scooshed in extra cargo space, but didn't change the stuff.
Accurate in all particulars. I conclude...
So you're gonna call her it, not she?
Though my voice is currently pitched to suggest female, I possess no gender.
Hello! I am not a board-certified mechanic, but my dad was.
Speech recognition is one of the many skills I have been programmed to simulate.
You're not simulating it, you're doing it! I asked a question and you answered it.
I am gratified you consider... I am at your disposal, Ms. Parvati. You will find the technical schematics in the engineer's locker.
I don't see any holes in the hull. I'll take a good squint at her, make sure everything's tip-top. But I think we're good. You can do that, you know. My dad taught me how to make grilled cheese sandwiches with the plasma torch. Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was. I'm not exactly a model employee. Not like you wanted. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to... There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met... I noticed straight away that he was moving slower. And stiffer. Oh, I miss him, sure enough. But... he's a... Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects, or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh. Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ears.
Arrived at the groundbreaker. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago. Alex likely recorded progress now. If you certainly, what would you? Now playing a spacer. Everyone in Halcyon is contractually obligated to live. Two Adams were strolling through Roseway when one of them exclaimed, "As you take care, I require a function."
Can we chat? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real... I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. Gosh, no, Captain. I figured Junlei and I could confabulate over... And maybe when we put into Groundbreaker, I could stop by to visit. I abso-surely can. I'm a passing... But I'm used to working on cannery lines, AG loaders and the like. All I'm looking for is a few pointers. Thanks, Captain. Did you want to talk?
Captain, if I could trouble you for a moment of your time. I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. The only one I'm aware of. I suppose we could... 1,000 pardons, my good captain. Now, as far... Fortunately, we're in the perfect place to start. This is where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. They're easily... I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifest. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain... I meditated, led sermons. Thank you. Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any...
Now's not a good time.
So, go space yourself.
You must really want to truncheon through your teeth. This ain't a show. Do what you want.
Whatever you heard, it's all... The guy insulted my Rizzo's Rangers, alright? You can't just insult my... So, of course, I decked him with a tossball stick. I mean, what am I? Some... Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man at times. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes sweat. That's when I broadsided him with a... Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's well, former dock worker. Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a zero... Hey, not for nothing. But I saw you wander out... So your ship's got a dark and violent history? Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. Felix Millstone. See you. Going for a stroll around the docking base?
Do you mind? I'm trying to file a report.
Hey. Huh?
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Identification, please. Everybody's got an ID. Oh. I'd tell you no one's fallen for that line in about 30 years. Then, I'd take the safety off my gun and kindly ask you to move along.
It's a good thing she didn't say that.
Sure, kid. Captain Hawthorne, you said. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship...
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful?
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the... Oh, thank the law. I could use a diversion. Not fond of that story. You lack... I like where this is headed. What happened? You must feel terrific. Not in the least. Not stuck, per se. Of course, then you'd find yourself with an exciting... Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so I shouldn't be mentioning it. But what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, if I had to take a guess as to why, you probably riled up the wrong petty board bureaucrat. You take the starch out of them, well... Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind? Now, hold on, it'll just take... Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and it... A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. Much? Is there any... Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic and 2 biggest most of those jobs are going to take... Are you pulling... You got a funny sense of humor, friend. Can't say how much... Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation. Then buy up the rights to this here... Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from... Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing base. Haven't seen... Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing. A few years... Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirtside, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided... I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Glad to help. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix...
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet the...
If you're thinking to make... Full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited, or go to a fellow crew member's kid. Relative to the board holdings? Not really. They aren't rich, but they aren't like... They strip the parts from... Sublime. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia. All right? He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Not that he would, being a board man. They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top and folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments. It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freight. They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of... We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or...
The board wouldn't do that.
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to...
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make... Sure thing. Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through... I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. Talk to Vera. She'll set... You need anything else? The fence. You'll find her and the rest. Make sure. Be safe.
Hi there. Heavens, what can groundbreakers... We can't just let anyone walk in here. Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in good with Commandant Sunita, or... All right. Chief Tennyson don't generally hire out. Anything else I can... They're run by Miss Hagen. Let's say there's been times when I heard somebody needed a thing. Now let's say the one who had the thing suddenly found theirs missing, and the one who... If anyone asks, Sublight says it got salvaged. Oh, gets a mite boring at this desk, you know. Then I get to... Oops!
Oh, don't worry.
Can't speak for the captain, but I'm used to listening to folks drone on about their point...
Awful generous of you, listening... Anything... The heat's a... Anything else? Chief Junlei Tennyson. Her family's worked on it for, gosh, since it...
What's she like?
Good as she can be, I guess. She could stand to lighten up, I suppose. But she tries her best to do right by folks, and that's what matters. Sure is, but she makes it look easy. This is the secure... If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to... Sure, and stuff from outside the system, too. Off the, That'd be awful weird. On account of... I told you, maybe... All right. Less than there used to be. Fewer freighters passing through. Search me. I mean, don't... I reckon you... I'm not so good at filing. Folks are liable...
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The outlaw scientist fella, right. If you have an inkling of the wheres or what fors of his location... To the board, yeah. You've read his wanted poster. Whole list, but he's never done nothing to Groundbreaker, so I've no problem with him. Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed. Allegations include several counts of flying under the influence, carrying open alcohol. Kicked one right in the kneecap while he poked the other in the eyes. McRed's lucky we're too backlogged right now to hunt. But if our resources clear up and we catch him before some contractor does, I fully plan to lock him in ISO. Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good. Do I look like your gossipy best friend? While I'm on post. Now let's not start a fuss. I'm just trying to do my job. We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from... Folks started calling us Mardettes because it was...
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
Hmm? I wonder what that fella did to get the board so riled at him.
Something the matter?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hard-working citizens. This is Halcyon News. Reminding you that there's no I in news, no we in Halcyon, and no Mercury in Saltuna.
It's always fucking freezing in the bays.
Hey there, you mind stepping back? This charming little ship's been impounded and I'm afraid I ain't felt so much as a tepid breeze in
Well, it doesn't smell as bad here as Edgewater's graveyard in high summer, so guess I can't complain.
Either way, let's not stick around so long we all roast alive. No offense, Miss El.
Whew, I'm starting. I'd surely love to, but that's just not my bailiwick. You'll want to have words with... Gosh, I wouldn't dream of it. Not unless...
She's a good ship, ma'am.
Happy to hear it. Have yourself...
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Sweet purple berry flavored center. Suck it, chew it, you can do it. Rizzo's Lemon Slap. Slap your whole family tonight.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about applying for military training.
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. Sorry. Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit.
Watch where you're looking, buddy.
Got my sights on you.
Bless my heart. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies... Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. Now, I only have the one nav key, and they're hard to come by these days. It won't... Phineas, that old kook. He was real light in the wallet, too. He still owes me a small fortune. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that... She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from... Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. Can't say I know for sure.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress...
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board. Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide. Maybe whatever they're hiding went to heck, and now they need a few spare hands to clean up the mess. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Neither do mine, dearie. Old Gladys knows the value of good work. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies. Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl. Yeah. Take that darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress signal I told you shouldn't be too tough. I've got a lovely little throw pillow. Just something I toss together. Like to keep my hands busy.
Understood. On my way.
We interrupt the regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Susan? Because she remembers you. When you were sick, who took your temperature? When you were hungry, who gave you a needle full of love? Auntie Cleo, that's who. Have you given your auntie a hug today? This has been Halcyon News, your only source for news in the Halcyon colony.
All right, I'm on the move.
Damnable thing about living on a space station. No pigeons to feed. Oh, you...
had a question about your plan, Mr. Vicker.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You had a question?
Never mind. That about answers it.
Weapons done for!
This is Halcyon News.
Seeking relief from the heat? The radiation, and we're all sweating buckets wondering what...
It might be your thermal control systems, but
I don't really care what the issue... Sweat's starting to make... That's not for me to say.
Gracious. What do you want? Groundbreaker's radiator. Miss Junley's supposed to be getting them. The board can't abide a commute. They've always got one scheme or another running, but it won't work. No, ma'am. That's right, dearie. Though for how long, The board can't abide a commute. They've always got one scheme or another running, but it won't work. No, ma'am. Go. Ask the common folk, and they'll tell you it's on account of... Because that's what the board... I think they made some fool mistake that would make them look bad to the rest of the colony. And... Those board folk are real prideful, but old Gladys knows the score. The whole colony's not much... That's why we gotta keep them from getting their grubby mitts on Groundbreaker. Probably. Every once in a while, we get these snippets of radio chatter. Claims he's transmitting from Monarch.
I'm not sure that's...
That's half the reason. But that's not... But... Anytime.
what they do with their waste. I guess they just put it down here. Where's it all go?
Are you listening to me, Furu? You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene. I'm sorry. See, Furu? We could have avoided all. Let me get one thing straight. Jesse and I... As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too. You say that like it's weird. It is most certainly not. And what? I just don't like to... Be my guest. If you know something I don't about dealing with hospital bureau...
What seems to be... Not without dispensation. If only my other patients had so many... The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visit. She's not my patient. I'm certain no one on my staff would... Take care.
Keep up the good work. Can't say I've seen you before. If you're here to better yourself, you'll have... Did he now? The mouth on that man. He must be referring to Irion. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my... A brave idiot with a penchant for getting himself delayed. Surgery, mostly. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla. And now, you look out, though. The place is probably crawling with outlaws.
You're sure this is perfectly safe? I'd rather not die early of an infectious disease myself.
Great. Take that darling ship. Shouldn't be any.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bap.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
RT greeting, potential customer. Welcome to this unit dispense. This unit is programmed. Shock simulation non-functional. Shock simulation restore. How dare shock subroutine complete. Estimated guilt level of customer increased by 35%. Resuming this unit dispense protein. Beginning dispensing sequence.
Those XF411s? And an old Yakita 37? You think they'd let me... You mind if I ask you a question? Maybe? Is it true what you said? Oh, I guess not. Seems like a weird thing to lie about if it ain't true, though. All the same, sorry.
Who there? Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king.
Boss says you're all right.
Not another step in that direction, friend. Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think that...
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered by a...
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of... I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Listen to the fire of those... Alive or dead. Rare or medium. My flame? Shit. Little Flick here got me started on...
Don't worry, Mr. McRed. We'll treat Mr. Flick.
You call your lighter lit...
I'll miss my baby Pyro, but it beats losing my head. This court needs... Keen eyes you got there. Sanita gave me this lighter. We had a... Lay it on. They rejected it again, didn't they? I thought I could take my fun...
Rizzos wouldn't know innovation if it bit him on their backsides. You're a natural inventor, Mr. McRed.
Kind of you to say, engine gal. You're a lighter. Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were grounded, and my baby got sold. That's bureaucracy for you. Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Stay here too long, and the ground... The second floor is my place. Off limits to the likes of you. Whatever business brings you...
Even the proverbial unwashed masses would turn their noses up at this place, or cut them off.
You get that automech patch? McRed wants it up and running.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
Don't give it a name.
Not another step in that direction,
Hasn't got a
friend.
heart. Not like us.
Not another step in that direction, friend. Neighbor from above.
It's so cozy.
You're the first person I've seen who talked their way past McRed. They may not sound like my... I'll get back to my post. McRed gave me a taste of the good stuff. I've been tripping for days.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as crazy as he is.
Where'd that chewy gristle go? Shoot on sight, Jester!
They're my friend.
Incoming!
Something going on over there.
I'm out! Reloading!
That was a close one. McRed gave me a taste of the good stuff. I've been...
It's so cozy.
You're the first person I've seen who talked their way past me. Junlei sent me down to collect the parts we need to fix the radiators.
Ma'am, I don't mean to be a bother, but...
Maybe ask her yourself. It's been fun, but...
Youth these days have...
I can't tell if you brought friends or if I'm still seeing things, so... I'll get back to my post.
How goes the hunt? I've been ruminating. Nothing excessive, mind you, but this... He tell you? I might have kicked his ass from one end to the ground break. Here's the bounty payout. Nice work down there. With any luck? With that bastard McRed dead,
what can groundbreakers... That's what I... What can... Yeah, I'm getting... You did take care of McRed. About the only thing that'd make Commandant Sanita happier is if this heat problem were fixed too. All right, I guess. In and out, though.
There it is. Just yank the drive, and I'll do the rest. Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
Has any of the news...
This heat's unbearable.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about applying for military training and lend your life to protecting our wonderful brands and products. Military service does not guarantee full employment rights. Rates military discount health benefits. Burial. Transportation medal, training, or weapon. This story brought to you by Halcyon News. All the news that you need to know.
Somebody was trying to fix this up, but looks like they ain't been here in a long while. Oh, sweetie.
Incoming! Here I go!
Let me handle them. The strong survive and the weak perish.
Gosh, ain't that handsome.
Got it. His name is Reginald Cheney, and he joined a sublight salvage crew. Only he's not listed on the return manifest. Must have made landfall. Ah, yes. Here. There's a domicile on Monarch in Fallbrook. I should have guessed. What better... Oh, it's nothing. I suppose I really didn't have much faith in actually finding him. I admit it was a bit of a long shot, but when you've spent as many hours as I have in
If you're here for this week's magazine...
on rotten time. You hull-headed quacks do know that restful recuperation requires... What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about me. I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my... Should've known she'd send a bruiser after me. Damned if I don't rue the day I saved her scrawny little hide. Alright, okay. We can discuss this. Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my business to anyone.
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny. You, ain't with the board, are... See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. So... Oh, laws. Wait, don't gut me and skin me yet. Please, talk to Bedford. Tell him I can pay. Surely you wouldn't drag me before him. I'm dreadful contagious. What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding denizen. Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one, thank you. In my line of work, that's a skill you develop during week. Alright, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood-tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years. If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the med bay? I was gonna steal it, lined up Udam as my buyer. He paid half. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udam. Udon Bedford's the board guy on the station. He'd know how I stand with them. If you could... Thanks for helping me with the board. Or I guess I should...
By verity, what are we... Nothing too out of the ordinary. That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My parents, they internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I... They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? Unnatural? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan, is... It can be if abused, but that can be said about anything. I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last. What about you? And how did... Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. That seems a dangerous proposition. Why? Fair enough. Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the... Yes, I've been meaning to discuss exactly that. Now that we know where...
Oh, neat! They got stuff in here I ain't seen in ages.
Now, this should prove interesting, to say the least.
Salvage is a family business.
All right.
That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters and Edgewater folks back.
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Shipping. A legitimate... You the one flying the Money. We got it. Miss Lily has been expecting... Sure am. A few years back, they got me started on simple acquisitions. You know those latches they put on cargo bays ain't worth a damn? These days, I stick to HQ and look at...
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd... Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive... Not a word. Pity.
My guy. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my... I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate time.
There is always a catch.
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested? First, an embargo that's been active ever since the board pulled its forces off-world. I like that initiative, but ease back. If there's anything else... These days, the scrap business all but runs. Our field is not all. Good girl. Hey, careful with the C word around here. Very. I have this. I like to think of myself as the last honest bit. Be seeing you.
CNP near maple syrup. It's near the sweet breakfast. Rizzo's strawberry party. We've got your front right here. Rizzo's lemon slap. Slap your whole family tonight.
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sublevel.
For the following story.
I'd spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff. It's all pretty worn, though.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see... No, it isn't. It's a mess. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any At ease. Nice to see an out. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe we see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. Only the board has access to new parts. They want us to sweat, thinking that'll soften me up for a bad faith deal. The board isn't helping and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those Reasonable, huh? According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bay. Then you know it's a den of criminals and miscreants. You must not have been here long. In Halcyon, new parts come by way of interstellar freighters from Earth. And the board... That means I'd have to negotiate with the board. I've already given them... Fatalism has got no home on Groundbreaker. Between us captains, I try to avoid sounding as bleak as you. Good. Once you've obtained... What can I do for you? I do, and I'm... According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need... Hold on. There's something you... The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned, and a haven. Good. One... Speak your mind. Honestly, I could...
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me...
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You could...
Wow, great! I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Couldn't have done it without your...
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other...
That Chief June... Well, I didn't expect her to... What? No. Maybe? You know how hard it is to find anybody who likes working... Come on, Captain. I just got my fingers stuck. Did you see how everybody on Groundbreaker lists? It's just...
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled... Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has rocked the league and thrown this pivotal game into question. Both teams have tested negative for performance-enhancing stims. A tossball first. Coaches and referees are debating how and
Good
if
law,
this
the heat
behavior
here is
could lead
so
to an unfair
unbearable I can
advantage.
hardly even concentrate.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. They're terrified to lock in the...
You know what sprats are? Space rats. Sprat meat is... Absolutely not. Boar, the other meat, is a registered trademark of C&... Legally? No. The terra-frying method between you, me, and this grinder? I've been through lean times. Might be that this old space hand put... Just... Just... Fresh...
C&D Borthworth. It's not the worst unless... Worse.
It's always fucking freezing in the bays.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
Where did that chewy gristle go? Shoot on sight,
Bull.
jesters!
What the?
System alert.
I'll take your confession now.
Sorry, I can't.
Sometimes violence is the only way.
Neighbor from above.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing. You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in a... Under its skin, this ship is all poison and darkness. You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find...
Bullshit. Wake up. You've been getting into the boss's special stash. Your aura is like a disco ball caught in a black hole.
Liz gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
Got another complaint. Worms. Find a new friend. This worm fixed.
Hey, I saw that. What do you think you're doing? You're free to go.
Backside still spreads. Does everyone get branded when they join McRed?
Nope. Your ass is a priceless canvas now that it's home to an original McRed.
This is Halcyon News.
You've returned. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. If every repair was a one-woman job, I wouldn't need an engineering team. You can flip a switch for me, but you can't install these parts. Not more than a few. Less than a hive. We were salvaging parts from a ship. Turned out there were eggs inside.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that.
The controls are in the back of the machinery shaft area. Keep clear of the radiators. tells me the security mechanicals ended up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak past if you can. Shoot fast if you need to. I can always fix them later.
Go! The strong survive and the weak perish. We are victorious.
That's the terminal. I have the parts in position on my side. Go ahead and cycle the droplet pumps. And if you don't know what that is, just look for the cycle droplet pumps. Done.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt.
My boards are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it that... If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I've also... Frustrating. Plus the...
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
Don't sell yourself short. It doesn't take a seasoned pro to tinker on Groundbreaker. We're always thirsting for help. If you could find your way... Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died.
They must have been amazing people to have...
That means a lot coming from a... It was different knowing... Maybe... I hope that was a joke, Captain. I gelded that thing years ago. Now it brews a stim that goes down stronger than Nan... You see any bite-sized Tennyson? The next captain won't have my heritage. I'll have to. You've got. You're right. I don't. The board is after two things: bits and power. I placate them when I have something to offer, but I can also be a real hard-ass. It'd be a joy. Too much of Groundbreaker's income is flowing in the.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
You'd think the board and its agents would be more content, sitting at the top of the system's food chain as they are.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. Has something? I impounded Alex's ship, not yours. Well, I ask him to turn in Phineas Wells. He tells me he will soon. I impound his ship. He explains why he can't give me the info right now. I ask him to... Around and around we... What? I'm sorry? I'm quite Huh. Oh, she's fantastic. Very dependable. Oh, and there we are. I've removed the lock on your ship in a show of my gratitude. An apprehension of this caliber will be tremendous for my career. I'll send you straight away to my superiors in Byzantium. Just a teensy one, the teensiest. The thing is, I needed money. I might have pawned my official board seal to Gladys, the black market fancier on the Groundbreaker. I can't authorize...
Stray too much from the, straight and narrow, and one may just find himself assigned pastoral duty in a...
To give away something so important to you.
I'll thank you not to question my motives, young miss. It's only temporary, of course. I'd never leave something so important in the hands of someone of such a dubious moral character. I was going to buy it back when... So you'll need to get my seal back. You probably don't even know where Wells is. Law, what am I going to do now? Oh, I'm sorry. This is... Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organ. That's not...
I guess it's better than losing your organs, but...
Miss Doyle is deeply in debt, and the board has every right... What guarantee do I have that she'll agree? I'm not sure the price of her organs will allow a profit in that case. I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to me promptly for her... Now, is there anything else...
CNP Force Pockets can be macrowaved in 2.5 seconds.
Wish I could say.
Keep hanging around and I'll be... What can I do? You have...
Got word from Udom, from the hitman who trailed me. I ain't too elated about going exclusive. You sure saved my skin, stranger.
The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a If you're looking for a medic, I can work. It's like people touching a cookie and leaving it in... You won't be sorry. Though it looks like you...
Welcome to the crew, Miss Ellie.
Something on your mind? I'm a surgeon by training and not much else to know, Captain. I like long walks on the promenade and the smell of Spacer's Corona. Well, my blood type is AB positive. I'm a Leo, and I despise that about... Oh, come on. Look, the thing I've learned about living in close quarters, I'm all for making a few bits together and having fun doing it. It's a mix of whatever you've got on hand, usually 0G brew with some Spectrum vodka. I'll make you one sometime. If you don't enjoy it... Sure do. Some of it was... What gave it away? It's the hair, right? Or maybe the ammo? Gotta advertise your business. I've done all types of work with all kinds. Makes two of us. No.
Hello. Junlei called up. Dr. Fenhill, I hope you're not...
Harassing?
You have a creative definition.
Then it's lucky for us both that I've found...
Good luck with... Now, is there some... a better selection than you'll find on the promenade?
If you're here for this week's... Depends. See the lights. Taking a show or two at the infamous Bijou. All right, I'll sell it. Anything? Yes. You could always try your hand at landing in Cascade. Landing pad on Monarch. You don't need, but it's also kilometers away from Stellar Bay. Pick your poison. Marauders, wild beasts, acid lake. Might be suit any.
Glad to see. Didn't quite. Glass. Huh? Huh.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information. Report any sightings to your local board.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advert.
How do you do? Huh.
Good law. Who'd want...
A luxury stateroom.
To serve at our most esteemed chairman's behest. As this office is the primary embassy for the board on Groundbreaker, corporate bylaws specifically state a room must be...
I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I have few...
You refer to the radiator issue? Oh, good. Chief Tennyson certainly did. I owe you a debt, then. I was going through 3-4... Deplorable conduct. My superior...
She did everything she could. It was your people. But hey, she's not... She's real good at her job, Cap. I just don't like this walk-in mustache speaking rude of her is all. Not after all she's...
Well, now that that's dealt...
Oh,
you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. They're here to keep the peace, of course.
precisely.
Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status, and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign. Please. Ask. You've changed. You've changed.
Fine. You see, I really do need that. I can't grant you access to Byzantium without it. If the board learned of my foolishness... No. Gladys intends to sell it to the highest bidder. She's demand... And if I refuse, she'll have those goons at Sublight... A spicy little... Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. I'm certain Gladys can be made... I'll be waiting eagerly for your return.
Is it Mr. Wells, the fellow who woke you? How bad could he be? Groundbreaker's safe from melting to bits now.
Is it just me, or is Groundbreaker feeling extra chilly?
What are you saying, Martin?
My law, what have I done? The company will out my...
Gotcha. This guy's real easy to fuck with.
What kind of Agree to Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to put this... Oh, and it's not the best... A lot of slogans to keep track. Heard of it? My orientation aetherwave showed that famous Saltuna camp. I'm sure they're doing their best. So, what can I get you? Some soap? Everything. I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiries. It's not the best choice! It's Spacer's choice! Taste the... You would never ask if you knew. I mean, why, anyone can be a Spacer's choice consumer. Have a...
We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Gracious. Shouldn't be Take that darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress shouldn't be too... Yeah. So... And...
Bar with caramel and tea-free nuts in it. It's time for a KYO.
Miss Ellie, Dr. Finhill. I notice your pistol's been making a funny noise.
What are you talking about? I oil it every night.
Well, look here. Your slide's not recoiling fully? You might be due for a new spring. I could take a look, maybe fix it for you.
Sure. I'm short on bits at the moment, but I'll pay you back.
Oh, no. I mean, it don't cost nothing. I got a spare spring in my pocket here, even.
Everything's got a price.
Hey, you got a second? Fancy running into you again. Don't mind me. Gotta hand it to you, boss. That's a fine-looking ship. Only thing it's missing is me. Yes, just give me a shot. That's all I'm asking. I could... Oh, okay. Good one, boss. Imagine me fawning all over you like some oily corporate parasite hoping for a raise. You got a real subtle sense of humor. I like that. And if you're willing to take... Sure, an interview. That sounds fair. Are you kidding? I love a good fight. One time, I took an autoloader's head clean off its servos with one swing of... You can count on me in a scrap, boss. Foreman told me my biggest problem was that I didn't take orders. I told him my problem, so yeah, I guess my biggest flaw is that I don't suffer idiots. It's mock apple pie and a tripicale crust, maybe with a little cream on top? Class. Wow. Thanks, boss. I'll just gather my personals and meet you.
Wow.
Hey, Captain. What? No. So, Junlei and I have been talking some. She sent me a poem. I don't know if I should read into it. Because poems... She rhymed compression alternator with aches to me. It's about this engine that's been shaking itself apart. Then this lady mechanic comes by and... I don't want to get too hopeful, but... I'm wondering if maybe... I don't know where it's leading yet. I'm not much interested in physical stuff. Never have been. It's been a problem in the past. The folk who wanted to be with me back in the Vale, they didn't... Thanks, Captain. I actually had another message from Junlei. I just couldn't... Let's see here. Talking about old friends. They were close, Captain. Like... No. I mean, I don't know. I haven't asked her out all formal-like. I thought... Captain, I'm feeling all mixed up right now. Could we maybe head to the Groundbreaker? Get some drinks at that bar? If you're there, I'm sure things will be okay. Like, I mean, you wouldn't let nothing... Thanks for asking, by the by.
Want to be a brand new you? Try out our respecification machine. Alex installed it himself, right before he died. Welcome back. How can I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited. I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think. Fortunately for you, I am similarly programmed to. Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it. If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne? How can I? Yes, Captain. Beginning playback now.
There's viscera and death everywhere. Gunfire, gnashing teeth. The unemployed. For law's sake, if anyone's receiving this, please send help. What? No! No, no, no!
Captain, we are now capable of accessing the Roseway landing pad. Also, corporate protocol requires that all distress signals include a list of key personnel for retrieval. The embedded names are Anton Crane, Vaughn Cortez, and Orson Shaw. What part of the... Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, he built his laboratory into an asteroid. The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Wells has taken a measure, even knowing the location. There is a bounty on his head, one with a market... A sensible choice, as we do not have... I've shut off the visual feed from my ocular inputs in the captain's quarters, so you're free to disrobe whenever you'd like. Make yourself at home, Captain.
Need something?
Felix, I know you can hear me, so listen up. For the last time, you break it, you buy a replacement for me to install.
Good to see you, boss. Didn't I tell you? I'm secretly the chairman's Honestly, before you picked me up, I was living in the back bays. Spent my whole life up there. Why? I was what folks on the Groundbreaker call a stowaway. Means I was invisible. Life carried on for everybody else, but... That's what they called us. Orphans with no family, no company. The word's a touch kindlier than rung leech, but the meaning's just as clear. Same way we all do. Look for work and hope somebody would give me a shot. Hauling boxes was about the only work I could find. Hated every second of it. Foreman and I never got on. Could be I was overreacting. A better man might have turned the other cheek. But on the other hand, broadsiding the jackass with a tossball stick? That felt... Yeah, I mean, I caught a real lucky break. If you hadn't picked me up... That's just crazy talk. You know we'd never have a problem. Thanks for listening, boss.
We have successfully arrived at Phineas's orbital lab, Captain, and we are still in one piece. Shall I congratulate myself, or would you like to do the honors? Welcome back, Captain. How can I be...
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast, that's loud. I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since, in fact, I've never had a visitor.
Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the... Right. Welcome to my little, habitation, such as it is. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. The one I gave you before your pod landed? Ruined, beyond repair. Impossible to find replacement. Don't worry about it. I'm reasonably certain you're not... Nonsense. There's no such thing as luck. Only well-calculated margins of error. Yes, well, you're stuck here with the rest of us. Hell, we can wallow in our collective misery, or we can... I don't know about you, but I'd like to... Oh, balderdash! You You hadn't yet recovered your faculties of speech. What was I to do? Dear so-and-so? Still, I admit I may have been a touch hasty. Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board. And... of course, what's on you? Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. I have my bee. Oh, goodness, no. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12. I enjoyed the occasional aether wave drama in my youth. Not a... To answer your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. There's too... Because we've lost our way, the board has a stranglehold over this colony. The Hope is full of specialists, scientists, engineers, talented individuals. Unfortunately, the Hope's colonists have been frozen for decades. Well... Precisely. The chemical I need is dimethyl sulfoxide, a rare, potent, essential. 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. You were frozen for decades. But the conventional theories are wrong. You're living proof. We'll do our best. I'd best get back to work. Aha! I see you found my portable molecular compression device, better known as a shrink ray. Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size, whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp. Feel free to try it on a marauder sometime. Careful, that's my communications terminal. Your old hibernation mask. Had to remove it, you know, in case you were prone to vomiting. I hope you're not thinking of ingratiating yourself with them. They might tempt you with promises. What's...
We're now in orbit above Roseway, Captain.
Can we talk? This Roseway business. Something tells me things didn't end well for the guy who made the distress call. Just a little caution. Could be a reason no one's picked up this. They don't give medical degrees. Anyway, we might as well take a look out there, see if we can get... No security. Not that I'm complaining. Something on your...
Yeah, boss? Something chewed clear through that armor.
Clear the roadway. Obstruction of commerce is punishable by a fine of no less than 10,000 bits. Warning. Having obstruction.
looks like we missed the fun.
Move along.
I done had enough of this shit. I'm just the fucking tarmac guard. No one said
Somehow, I'm not
Yeah. Distress call. From here? Shit. Got me. I just do what I'm told. Scientist. Name of Anton Crane. Alarms went off, wraps broke loose, and I hightailed it in here to get a wall between... Wish they tasted like sissy. Don't... In it... Oh, before I forget. Auntie Cleo's makes the best pharmaceuticals in Halcyon. Better than nature.
Ah, outlaws, I assume. Do me a... Oh, you aren't with the outlaw? Oh! No, they got the carpet in here. I am Orson Shaw, Chief. I was brought in to study the Raptidons. I was too... They are insatiably hungry, absolutely impossible. No amount of studying will enable us to control them, or... Not quite. We are now a... Now, that may seem like an obvious conclusion, but believe it or not...
Isn't that the...
Now, they got the carpet in here. Oh, you're still here. If you... Now, they got the carpet... What does... I don't have time for this.